So next up, the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup. This is the intermediate level of quadruple sculls. On your right-hand side of your picture, Leander Club. Well, they've won this event so many times, I can barely count them on my fingers. And they're going up against the University of St Andrews, Catherine.
Isn't that lovely to see? Again, like we're saying with Bristol, you want people from all over the country to be coming here and feeling that Henley belongs to them too. And it's really wonderful to see both these clubs today.
Well, Leander off to a very good start, and we'll talk about them a little bit later on, so they're a very impressive crew. But I do want to take a moment to say the University of St Andrews making it to the Friday of an event like this is amazing, under the new stewardship of old teammate of yours, actually, Catherine, Alan Sinclair, now heading up that programme as the director of rowing. And how wonderful to see them, and just the start of their journey, really, I think.
Oh, it is, and I can't decide if it's starting to make me feel really old, but loads of people I've rowed with seem to now be, leading incredible rowing programmes all over the country, and it's a wonderful, for Alan Sinclair and what he's going to start there, he will take a lot of inspiration and credibility with him, and it just gives belief to these crews that they can come here and they can really compete against the best in the country. Now, they're going to find it tough against, as we've said, this Leander Club, which will be one of the favourites for this event. But actually, University of St Andrews have got to the Friday and put in a great show, and that's a really important thing to then take back to the university, and that experience will go a long way.
Yes, and we are now looking at this very extremely well-drilled Leander Club crew, led in the stroke seat by Victor Kleshnev, the under-23 that came 7th at the under-23 championships this year, the double junior silver medalist from the junior men's quads. He certainly knows how to set a rhythm in a boat like this, Catherine.
I know, and this is again, the overhead views of the quad sculls is just, when it's done well, it's just beautiful to watch. You just look at the angles of each one of those blades are, perfect between them, the time that the boat has to run in between each stroke. That's a crew that's sitting there in a comfortable position, not doing more than they need to, just checking on that technique, keeping that momentum we talk about in those boats, just tapping it along nicely.
Yeah, you can just see the difference there between the Leander crew we were just watching, just giving it a little bit more time to run around the back turn. St Andrews just being quite quick to get back onto the next stroke. And, they're smaller guys. They probably do need to get a few more strokes in per minute, but you really can see the efficiency that's being created by Leander here.
It is, and there's a huge difference when you're sitting a few lengths up ahead comfortably. It gives you the confidence, it gives you the relaxation, it gives you that control. I mean, it's that Leander position is what every athlete wants, to be sitting there in a great boat that feels good, that feels comfortable, that you can just tap along. I mean, the timing and the synchronicity there is really a joy to watch. Meanwhile, if you're behind, if you're in that St Andrews University crew, you're still feeling you're chasing, you're still trying to, you're not quite sure where that crew ahead of you are, you've got to keep the rate up, and they won't have that comfort level of just taking it, letting the power lift, but the rate will come down.
Yeah, and a small look there from Victor Kleshnev in the stroke seat, backed up by Ollie Costley at 3. Those two just passing that beautiful rhythm back through the bows. And like you say, when you've got all that time, it can look extremely easy. But again, great to see the University of St Andrews making it to this point in the regatta. They've moved now to training at Loch Awe. Have you ever rowed at Loch Awe, Catherine?
I know the Loch, but I've never actually rowed there. It's beautiful, and they've got some lovely training venues there. And the great thing is, as we've said, to get to Friday is an incredibly, impressive feat. And every time you come here, every time you race down this course, you learn something more about yourself, about your crew, about how to race these events. So, I really hope we'll see them again.
Well, they're just picking the rating up now, the University of St Andrews, to try and claw back the deficit, but I think probably a little too little too late. This quad is the quad that got the bronze in the intermediate level event at the British University Championships, but this international calibre crew here, littered with medals from under-23s, juniors and so on, and I'm sure internationals of years to come. And look, what a great shot. You can just see the synchronicity there. Yeah,
it is. There is something when those boats are sculled well, then there's just nothing to tell. Even looking at the arm reach and the length, and they are completely in harmony together, and that's when the boat feels. And there's hardly any bounce in the boat. That's another thing you see. That if you look at the bows of the boat, it's just running seamlessly through, and you can see why they're leading so comfortably.
bringing back good memories of quads, Catherine.
It is a little.
Over the line and go Leander Club in the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup. 5-time winners of this event in the last 10 years. Can they make it 6? They progress through to the Saturday ahead of the University of St Andrews.